Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks and another random destruction. And starting off with the capture card was a bit funny on the recording, so didn't quite start recording as early as I wanted it to. But anyway, Tier 7 match, IKV 90B, Tier 7 Swedish TD. I've got it fully upgraded. Some of you will remember that I was sort of going through this as a sort of road to Tier 10 series, but it was a bit of a pain in the arse series for me to do, for what's shown, what have you. So again, that's why I'm not really uploading much at the moment. It's just sort of reviews and the odd random destruction. But I am going to get back into doing things properly and just trying to sort of manage time a bit more and manage what I'm doing and keep things within sort of my scope, if you see what I mean. So the Road to Tier 10 series, I don't know what it was about it. I found it a bit of a pain in the backside to do. But anyway, back to this match, and you know, I was going to try and cover that top side of the map, but if you can see, most of the enemy team have come around the bottom. Well, not most of the enemy team, but a good portion of the enemy team have come around the bottom side. There's enough guys covering that top side of the map from there, and there's a medium going up a little bit further in. So I decided to pop down here a bit now. There was a light tank up there and he was creeping forwards. I'm not sure where he's gone, but I thought I'd just wait a second in case anybody spotted him, or he popped back up. Nothing. And that's when I noticed it was just, well, on the map it looked a little bit hairy down on this corner possibly. There didn't look to be a great deal of our team there. There's a couple of tanks down there holding it off. 3 of them I think. But I decided to swing down and try and lend a hand down this side. Now, I'm getting better in TDs. They're still not, I mean, they're not my favourite class of tank. They're really not, but I am getting there. And I don't mind this one actually. The gun has got a decent rate of fire really. And damage wise and what have you. It's quite a nice little gun on this. I'm quite enjoying it. I don't know what it is with this one. I'm enjoying it, but I want to get to the next one. And you know, like sometimes you're just not enjoying a tank, so you just, oh, I just want to get to the next tank. But this one, no, you know, I am kind of enjoying it. I'm starting to have some decent games in it. And I say starting to. I've had some decent games in it. Yes, I found it quite a frustrating TD, and sometimes I can do with a lot of the glass cannon TDs, you know, where they've just got no armour, because it just down to certain maps, you know, like city maps where you just really don't know where to actually put yourself to use, you know, without getting spotted and obviously just slaughtered. And occasionally on certain maps you do kind of feel a little bit dependent on the team for kind of spotting for you. You know, that's just how I feel about it sometimes. With some of these, I just feel personally that you know, like I say, in a medium tank, you can be more effective solo, if you get what I mean, if it gets to that point. I know it's a team game. Sometimes, you know, teammates leave you to die, etc. Sometimes you're the last one left against, you know, a couple of tanks and that sort of thing. And personally, I just feel like, you know, medium is better suited for that. You know, heavies can be as well, but they can be outmaneuvered a lot easier. So again, and it's, you know, these are just my opinions, and I'm just rambling away now. But it's that's just how I feel anyway. Other people will, and you know, they will feel different. You know, it's not may feel different. They will, you know, just how it is. That TD was making a run for it to try and get out and around that corner there. Didn't manage to that T29. Poorly aimed on my part, to be fair. But that one was better aimed because he came out and gave me his side. And they are trying to pop in and out. They've got to be, obviously they are aware that I am up here. Well, there's something is up here, should I say, shooting at them, but I've not been spotted yet. So I'm just going to keep putting these shots in. As long as they're going to keep popping out and giving me their sides and their soft parts, I'm going to keep putting shots into them. And now, between myself and the couple of guys that are remaining down there, it's looking a bit healthier down on this corner. Just taking them apart. They keep popping out. And the thing is, the 2 guys that are down there on the corner, obviously they know I'm here and they know I'm giving them backup by shooting in at them, and they're not pushing round that corner. You know, sometimes you'd be in this situation and the people on the corner that you're covering in your TD or whatever would then push around that corner so that you cannot support them effectively without having to move in and put yourself at risk as well. And it was nice because those guys, they didn't. They just sort of backed off. They'd ease up to the corner, you know, get a shot in, try and tease them around, and you know, it worked. Well, that's what it looked like they were doing anyway. But yeah, it was nice. It worked. They didn't push around it, and you know, they've only pushed around that corner now that the enemy team have really been sort of stripped down on that side, or down on this side. I do like the speed of this thing though. It's very nippy. And you know, at a push in sort of late game, you can play it a little bit sort of crazy aggressive. It depends how, you know, how suicidal you're feeling, but yeah, you can do anyway. Just because it's so quick, you can sort of just zip around, use the bit of cover, you know, and just pop up behind somebody, and it can be quite fun for that. Well, he managed to get away that light tank. Oh, but he's coming back. Can I get a shot on him? Just let it aim in, and no, not quite. Nearly, but no, you know, not quite on that one. But it still was a decent game, and not, I don't know, it's just one of those. I just found it a bit of a weird game to play because it just really didn't turn out how I expected it to, and I just ended up in a place that I didn't expect to be in, etc. And well, yeah, it was nice, and I am loving the ×2 XP from the Winter Ops thing. Obviously, when you finish phase 1, you get ×2 for the rest of January, which is nice. And I think I had stuck a ×5 on there as well. So yeah, I mean, not masses of damage, 2800. Just, you know, a nice, decent game. One of my better games in that. You know, I'll be honest, I'm not making out as though, oh yeah, that's, you know, I always get that in it. I really don't. But that is one of my better games in that TD. But I'd like to say, I'm enjoying it, and I like it, but I just want to get to the next one now, because obviously that's when, you know, the siege mode kicks in at tier 8 on the Swedish TD line. So it's, I think that's sort of a little bit of excitement from messing about in that. And I think that's why I really want to get out of that one now. Nothing to do with not liking the tank. Anyway, in the Object 432 tier 9 Russian medium, as most of you, or nearly everybody, will be aware, there'll probably only be a few new players that aren't. So, going through this one, I think I mentioned before, I can't remember if I've shown any videos of this one before, but I did mention about, or I think I did, about going through from the A44, I think it is. Not keen on that tank. I don't know why, I don't know. I'm just not keen on it for some reason. Although the gun, you know, it does pack a decent punch for a tier 7 medium. But anyway, yeah, so I went through that, went through the Object 416, really enjoyed that tank, which was a big surprise to me. I really thought I'd hate it, but I really enjoyed it. Very sneaky little tank. In fact, you know, it's sort of concealment on it is almost as good, stationary and moving, as an E25. So it is a very stealthy tank. And as I said, you know, I thought I'd really hate it, but I really liked it and ended up keeping it. So I've had to work on a new crew for this, so it's not a great crew in this. Not as good as it could have been. But I am working on this one, and unfortunately I've now got to work on some more crews because there's 3 tier 10s that come off this now. But again, I do like this tank. Not an easy tank to use sometimes, and probably not for everybody again. And I don't know. I suppose the question that's probably going to come from this is, what do you prefer, this or the T54? And to be perfectly honest, I really don't know. They're both good, but in kind of different ways, if you see what I mean. I suppose the T54 is quicker and a bit more mobile, but this does have its strengths as well. And again, this was another match that didn't quite turn out how I expected it to. On our team, all our tier 9s I think were mediums. Or if not, we might have had a tier 9 TD in there, but we definitely didn't have any tier 9 heavies. The enemy team did. They had an Object 705. And when I saw, well, basically nobody going to the town, I thought the 705 was probably going to come through the town, and it could cause a bit of an issue. So I did sweep down that way. I didn't want to go into the town myself. You know, I really didn't, because I don't want to be brawling in a town with a 705, something like that. So that's why I decided to come this way, a bit more to the middle of the map, and saw the Leo on the map and decided to come after him, and now I've ended up brawling with a Black Prince. Which, again, I'm not really concerned about as such. It is a tough tank, this, especially when you're up close and brawling as well, or if you can get hull down. I've bounced shots from tier 10s in this quite happily off the turret. It is a tough little medium. So's the T-54. But I really couldn't say which I prefer. But he's trying to manoeuvre, you see, he's trying to get in, try and get a shot at my sides. I'm not letting him, that one did bounce. That was, again, badly aimed for myself. And just wait for that reload. There we go. So you no need to panic, just keep pushing him, keep the front towards him, and just don't let him get around you. And that's it. I mean, I know he's a tier 7 heavy and I'm a tier 9 medium, so generally it's not going to be that much of a competition anyway. The tanks aren't particularly matched, but, you know, sometimes in that situation people do panic a little bit. Now, I'd seen the T-54 coming up on me on the map, which is why I'd swung around there to get off his radar. I managed to get round behind him. And what's he going to do? Yeah, there he is. Now, I did take a hit there. So again, I'm going to close the distance. I know he's not got particularly good gun depression. Neither have I, to be honest, but I know he's not either. So just get up close to him and try and donk it through the front of his hull. It's not going to happen. I don't really want to be messing about down here too long, so I do just switch to premium and just keep pushing him back and trying to just take him down. Now, the reason I don't want to be messing about down here too long is because there's still that enemy heavy left. I know we do outnumber them, but I've just taken a hit from a TD from behind. Swap back to my standard ammo. That was, you know, another reason why I didn't want to mess about down there too long, because something could have snuck up behind me, and it did. And again, now it's just brawling. In fact, I think I spent most of this match from when I came into the town and saw the Leo face to face with another tank and brawling. Even if you can call it brawling, it's like a reverse tug of war, pushing each other. Sumo wrestling, maybe. But yeah, I was getting a little bit edgy at that point because my health had gone down a little bit. I'll say a little bit, quite a bit. Now, not quite sure what happened here. I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay because I didn't notice until I was actually doing this video. But I think I over-angled, or I thought I over-angled against the 705, and the 705 waited and shot straight at me. But as you'll notice, the 705 was spotted, you know, he was visible, but there was no kill cam. And I didn't notice that until I was actually doing this video. I didn't notice that there wasn't any kill cam. So the only thing I can think of, and I'm going to have to go back and try and find the replay for this match, but luckily they do save them now, which is nice, is that he actually fired at this guy that I was watching then, and it was the ricochet that got me. That's the only thing I can think of, possibly. I might be wrong, but it does seem that way with it not giving a kill cam. That's the only thing I can think of, is that it possibly ricocheted and hit me that way. And anyway, there you go. Nice little round. 5,000 damage, 3,350 blocked. High caliber, no ace though, because they were mostly lower tiers I was going against, so I didn't get as much XP as I normally would have done. I did have a ×3 on there, as well as obviously the ×2 from the winter ops, which is why I got, you know, so much XP on that. And I am loving all these XP ops and everything. But there you go, Object 432. I'm enjoying that tank, and I think that's probably going to be one that stays in my garage as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you all have a great weekend. Sorry there was no video yesterday. My wife and my eldest son were both ill with a touch of the flu. So that's why there was no video yesterday. But yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed that, and take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.